Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, tmosso@the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on our platforms. Reach out to us, tmosso@the1916 Company for pricing. Today, we discuss a model launched in 2021, the latest in a long line of oversized dress watches dating back to the original Portugieser of 1939. This is the IWC Portugieser hand-wound tourbillon, reference 5458-01, again, a 2021 launch. It's a timepiece that packs a lot into a thin case profile. Now, it's broad at 42.4 millimeters in diameter, but only 11.1 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, 50.2 millimeters with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it wears well. I would say that this fits just fine on my wrist, but because it is large, you could see the down the barrel angle, I'd recommend your wrist be my size or larger, so 16 and up. It is thin, with a stepped case flank and a sloped bezel. It'll easily slide underneath the cuff. You can see over the top, which exaggerates the width of the watch. It's right out to the edge again. The down the barrel angle is the definitive one, where you can see I do have clearance. The strap comes from the Italian leather specialists at Santoni. We have their signature calfskin, signal orange on the bottom, and then on the top, a more conventional luxury watch, large rectangular scale, black alligator leather. Now, these are large, symmetrical rectangular scales, indicating a very high grade and expensive cut of the animal. Brand new IWC factory strap, no crimping, no gouging. Monotone stitch. You can see we have a sheer cut side with lacquering, and we have a clasp. Externally, it features polish and media blast and satination. All three. The IWC motto, Probus Scafusia, good solid watches made in Schaffhausen. These are, of course, made in German-speaking Switzerland, up in Schaffhausen in the northeast of the country. Inside, we have media blast, the city of origin, and we have some polish. It shuts with a reassuring click. The case and the buckle made of something IWC calls armor gold. What is armor gold? Well, it's difficult to say. They identify it as 5N, which is conventionally described in the industry as red gold. 3N is pink, 4N is rose, 5N is really red. Usually indicates a high percentage of copper, but armor gold is also supposed to be harder. And so you could see this case, although it has some small marks, is mostly unmarred by having been used for 3 years. And armor gold is said to be harder and more resistant to marking. How much? We don't know, because IWC will not say. It'd be great to have a Brinell or Rockwell Vickers or Mohs scale number to give you, but I don't have it. All I can say is that per IWC, it is a harder and more resilient gold. Easier to say what we're dealing with in terms of case lines, though. We have a bezel that's somewhat inwardly stepped with a flange and then a conical profile. So you can see visually it thins the watch out a little bit, having those steps. We have polished lug hoods. The bezel is polished. The case bands are integrated, blended, and satinated. We have the IWC logo again and the motto, Probus Scafusia, on the crown. Now, a fun feature here, something rarely seen on tourbillon regulators, because this is a 1-minute tourbillon. It can act as your seconds hand, and it has a hacking seconds function to stop it. So depending on what part you want to use as your reference, you can synchronize this watch to the second against a reference time. Now, the original reference 325 Portugieser of 1939, requested by Mr. Rodrigues and Teixeira, the Portuguese importer of IWC at the time, that old model was a wristwatch purpose-built to house a pocket watch movement because, well, they wanted a wristwatch that was as accurate as a pocket watch. There was only one way to do it at the time, so an extra-large case was purpose-built to house a pocket watch caliber, and it was good. We had leaf hands, Arabic numerals, a railroad track for the minutes and small seconds, and basically we have all of those features now. We have rose gold indices, numerals, a frame for the tourbillon, and hands. These features will never oxidize or tarnish. We have what's called an opaline or frosted non-directional grain on the silver-white dial, which glows softly rather than exploding like a sunburst. You could see this is a flying tourbillon. That's how IWC likes to do tourbillon regulators. So there is no upper bridge to block your view. That is what a flying tourbillon is. It's pivoted only on one side. This was invented in the 1920s in Germany by watchmaker Alfred Hellwig. You can also see underneath we have a synthetic diamond-coated silicon escapement to reduce the total rotating mass, also reduce friction and the need for lubrication. What we've got right here is a 4 Hertz beat rate and an impressive 84-hour power reserve. It does feature the stop seconds, 5-position chronometer style adjustment. It all pivots on 20 joules. Flip it all over, you can see a little bit more. We have a combination of blued screws, stripes. You could see we have a little bit of a bevel, mostly mechanically applied, but handsomely and carefully. We have a lovely solarization on the barrel, which I happen to adore. You can see it's actually double solarization, outboard and inboard, and then satination on the wheels themselves. We have a little rose gold medallion, polished and media blasted, and you can see that the movement is nicely sized to fit the case back. Unexpected but appreciated, 60-meter water resistance. Dress watch tends to be 30 meters. I still wouldn't take it swimming because it is a push-down crown, not a screw-down, but it's nice to have 2 times the margin of safety on this watch. If you love it, reach out to us, Team Mosso at the 1916 Company for purchase and pricing details.